4 quarters of Notre Dame football.
He's met by Alohi Gilman with a nasty hit. Chase Claypool walked into the end zone. And it's fake. All the way for a touchdown. Down he goes.
No matter what happens, we stay together.
And intercepted by Jalen Elliott.
Look, a great fake. Touchdown, Notre Dame.
Notre Dame has now won 15 consecutive games at home after beating USC 30-27. We welcome you to Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com, along with former Irish linebacker Corey Mays. I'm Darren Pritchett. Corey, a very solid performance by Notre Dame beating their rival. What was the difference?
The difference today, yards after contact. Each defense seemed to struggle with turning little plays that should have been contained, and they turned into big plays for each offense. I think Notre Dame still edged out in the amount of total yards for the game, and that was the difference in the game today.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the first half highlights from Notre Dame Stadium. It's USC and the Fighting Irish, the 91st installment of the greatest intersectional rivalry in college football. Notre Dame going for their 3rd consecutive win over the Trojans. Right off the bat, the Notre Dame defense impacts the game. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah with the sack. Eventually, USC would pick up a field goal, a 40-yarder by Chase McGrath, 3-0 USC. To the second quarter, the Irish looking for some rhythm on offense. They go to Chase Claypool for 9 yards. Then it's Tony Jones Jr., the start of a big night for the Irish running back. He picks up 12 yards and an Irish first down. On first down and 10, the pitch to Jones. And watch Tony break tackles. Cuts up the middle of the field, and he'll scamper 43 yards to the USC 30-yard line. On second down and goal from the 10, it's Book to his tight end Cole Kmet, 10 yards out, touchdown Notre Dame.
Book was able to stand in the pocket and deliver to his tight end right here. He breaks the tackle and is able to actually, seems like he avoid an injury right here from the corner coming in to tackle him.
7-3, Fighting Irish. And how about this? Braden Lenzy takes the pitch, turns the corner, and the speedster is off to the races. He will go 51 yards for the Notre Dame touchdown, and the Irish led 14-3.
Oh, this Irish offense got to the perimeter. He looks like a racehorse at the Kentucky Derby right now. He can't be stopped. You can't do anything for this type of speed.
The Irish with an 11-point lead in the second quarter. USC looking for an answer. The freshman Slovis under pressure, and Khalid Kareem with the sack for the Fighting Irish. Before halftime, Notre Dame tacks on 3 points, a 45-yard field goal by Jonathan Dorr, and the Irish led 17-3. Notre Dame in the second quarter, 9 plays of 10 yards or more. And as we take a look at the first half stats, Corey, you see the rushing numbers starting to add up already for the Fighting Irish.
Yes, the Irish offense is beginning to identify themselves. They're pulling off that mask, that Cape Crusader. You know, this offensive line was very physical and dominant, and Tony Jones ran like they told him this is the last day you'll ever play in an Irish uniform. He ran angry. He ran with fire today.
Well, the Irish had a 14-point lead going to halftime. We'll take a look at the second half highlights next on Inside Notre Dame Football.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Vivid Seats, Canon, and SiriusXM.
Welcome back to Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com. I'm Darren Pritchett along with Corey Mays. Thanks to a strong second quarter, the Irish went to halftime leading 17-3. Let's now take a look at the third quarter highlights from Notre Dame Stadium. The Irish got the football first. They got into scoring range, and Dorr connects from 52 yards out, and the Irish had a 20-3 lead over USC. Notre Dame had scored on 4 consecutive drives. McGrath answers that field goal. The USC place kicker boots it through from 27. It was 20-6. Then Slovis to Amon-Ra St. Brown, 38 yards for the USC touchdown, and the lead was down to 20-13 going to the fourth quarter. Early on in the fourth, another field goal by Dorr from 43 yards out. The Irish led 23-13. Slovis, the freshman, lobs the ball right corner of the end zone, and Tyler Vaughns makes the catch. 23-20 Notre Dame. Then the Irish go back to the ground game. Jameer Smith, 13 yards to the Notre Dame 46. Then it's Book, an RPO. He finds Kometal on the far sideline for 12 yards. Then Book in the pocket, sees an opening. He runs up the middle, angles to the left, and he will go 17 yards to the USC 13-yard line. Then it's Book, once again, running forward. 8 yards for the touchdown, his third rushing touchdown of the year, and the Irish led 30-20.
Ian Book was masterful on this drive. He put this team on his back and led them down the field, and the Irish offense scored when they really needed it. 13
plays, 75 yards. Marquise Stepp played for the Fighting Irish in high school, but it was Cathedral down in Indianapolis. He scores against the Irish against Notre Dame in this contest to make it 30-27, but the Irish close out the game. Brock Wright recovers the onside kick, and Notre Dame seals the victory over USC. Final score, the Fighting Irish 30 and the Trojans 27. A lot of yards in this football game, 473 for the Irish, 426 for USC. But when you rush for 308 yards, you've got an awfully good chance to win the football game.
This is what we've been begging for. This is what we've been wanting to see. Downhill, physical running. This is the identity that you need to see, especially going into this bye week. Now, on the opposite side, on the defense, you don't want to give up those yards, but you do have that bye week to correct those things.
176 yards rushing for Tony Jones in the contest. The Fighting Irish are 5-1 after beating USC 30-27. Stick around. More Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com, is coming up.
We are here in Coach Kelly's office, just off the locker room. They've just sung the fight song after beating USC for the third straight year. You gave them a really different look on defense, playing the three safeties, and it took them a while to figure it out.
It did, and I think it was difficult for them to throw the football down the field. We did not want to get beat down the field. We knew at the end of the day they could not beat us running the football, and that ended up being the case.
Jafar Armstrong still not ready for a heavy workload, so you really have one proven, dependable back in Tony Jones Jr., and he keeps coming up for you. Career high 176 rushing yards.
Outstanding effort, and he just continues to get better and better each and every week. I think he's saving it for the fourth quarter, it seems. Both games against Virginia and this game, when we needed him the most, he came up big. And our offensive line, you got to give him great credit. Cole Kmet, outstanding at the point of attack and blocking. Just a great effort. Ian Book running the football was key. So, again, anytime you rush, Jack, for over 300 yards against your rival, you're going to remember those kind of games.
And the fans finally got to see another one of the fruits of good recruiting. They finally got to see how fast Braden Lindsey is.
He is pretty fast. There's no doubt about that. To get him on the edge and on the corner to run away from everybody was a big play for us, and kind of got the momentum going in our favor.
It doesn't happen that often. The kicking game is important, but it's not often that the place kicker gets the game ball, but Jonathan Dora deserved it.
Yeah, you usually get it if you kick the game winner, and I guess you could say he did kick the game winner in this instance, the margin being 3. He was outstanding all day. His kickoffs put us in a position where we could pin USC deep because they have a dynamic group. He's been, obviously perfect in his extra points, and then a 52-yarder, which he made with the wind in his face. So outstanding, and the growth of John Doerr, I think, is what you've been here, you've seen him, you've seen his struggles. It's just great to see this young man develop mentally and physically to the kind of player that we all wanted to see.
USC is the number 1 rivalry for Notre Dame. From an animosity standpoint, Michigan, even though it's not every year anymore, is probably number 2. You get a couple of weeks to heal up and get ready.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be difficult to go back and play Michigan next week, with the kind of schedule that we have. So to get the bye week, it comes at a good time just to get your team emotionally back. And then, got a couple of guys banged up here and there. So it'll be nice to get the break and then come back and get ready for Michigan.
Trophy stays home with us.
We've had this
shillelagh for the last 2 years. And we now have it for the third.
It comes up once a year and it never gets old. Notre Dame versus USC in the greatest intersectional rivalry in college football.
This is the rivalry for Notre Dame football.
The game is going to ebb and flow, right? But always understand, right, that the momentum is coming back to us.
But if we hit them in the mouth, if we play fast, we play with great effort, we're going to come out on top.
We're going to take respect. We're going to make them respect us tonight.
And you keep at it persistently, play after play after play. That's how you break somebody's will.
On 2nd and 7, Slovis in trouble and brought down by Jeremiah Usu-Karamoa.
A stingy defense. Julian Okwara saying we want to be the best defense in all of college football. But you're going to give up some plays to keep them out of the end zone.
We kept pounding the rock when we playing fast. The holes just started prying open.
On the edge, Jones puts his head down. Made the man miss, and Tony Jones in the middle of the field. Notre Dame in the red zone has been as good as anyone's. And Book throwing on the cross. It is Komet in his end zone. Touchdown, Notre Dame. Let's go. There's a little flip to Lindsey trying to use his speed on the edge. He got Brian Christian right to the end. And there goes Lindsey.
That was wild. I mean, when I got the ball and just came around sight and I was like, oh crap. Made a little movement, ran around. It was pretty cool. On that carry, it like shows that Braden has been still working, and then when you turn on the gears, no one's gonna catch him. So
That kid's unbelievably fast. So, right when I gave it to him, I knew he was going to be able to circle the edge. That's what he can do with that speed, and just happy for him that he was able to turn it into a touchdown.
Just a great one for our team. Anytime we can get a win against SA, it's always special. Just playing the whole game, staying persistent, it felt great.
45 yards, Jonathan Dorr. Field goal turning in. Hooked it right through the middle. And that's going to bring the first half to a close.
2 quarters against USC. 2 quarters, okay? 1 play at a time, lock in. That was impressive, okay? That was an impressive display of patience, of playing 1 play at a time, and just being deliberate about what we were going to do in that game. Laser focus on your job. Do your job. You do that, you will win the football game.
When I go on the field, I don't really worry about the distance. I just kind of run out there to the spot and do my thing. I didn't know it was that long at the time. I just, nothing really changes. It's just like a PAT. Just go through the process, go through the routine, and try to hit the ball as best I can.
Smooth pass out at Dorr from 52. Got it. Slovis taking a shot downfield, and it's brought in by St. Brown for the touchdown.
And it's now 20-12 Notre Dame.
Slovis up top, Vaughns with a catch, and a USC touchdown.
So on one hand, you have USC coming back, finding success moving the ball. But for Notre Dame, they have Tony Jones, and they have an offensive line playing very well tonight.
the O-line is the reason why we won today, man.
See, I didn't even notice. It was just moving the ball, running the ball, getting yards here and there, pushing them, moving the line of scrimmage. Like I said, just asserting our dominance on them. When you're kind of in a moment like that, you don't really think about it. When we look up after we scored, there's like 2 minutes left. Damn, we just took like a ton of time off the clock. So
On that last play, it was a quarterback draw. So once I saw it open up, I knew I had to get in there.
Cook drops back, keeps it himself across the 10, 5, dives to the end zone, touchdown Notre Dame.
Well, I got my block, and I knew he was going to score because I already knew that Book's like fast, and Book is going to get there, and then I block on dude, and I turn, I see his 12 diving in the end zone, and I started smiling, I was cheering, I was yelling. It was a happy moment for us.
Giant exhale from 70,000 plus here in South Bend inside Notre Dame Stadium.
Let's go! Notre Dame getting nosy. They're going to hand it off inside, and Step powering his way to the goal line and in for the touchdown.
Everybody in the stadium knows what's coming. Onside kick is next.
Here's the kick, the big bounce, and waiting for it is Notre Dame's tight end, Brock Wright.
A great team victory starts with being able to do the little things right. This is a team game, and it has to come from everywhere. Offense, defense. but the game ball goes to special.
Hey man, put the ball down, let's play.
Put the ball down.
That's all I got. Hey, put the ball down, let's play.
There is no other alternative but to come back in here and sing the fight song. Everybody clear on that? Sure. All right, let's pray. This is the next game, okay? A new game for 2 quarters. Deliberate, intentional, one play at a time, laser focus on your job. Do your job.
Let's go! Book taken off for the end zone. Touchdown, Ian Book.
Yeah, let's go!
There you go, Book.
Money.
Yes, sir! Let's go!
Yes,
Make him go down the field. Nice job. Let's go, D!
Great victory, great job. That's how to stay patient and play for 4 quarters. Let's pray, and then we'll have John up here to sing the fight song.
That was wild. I mean, when I got the ball and just came around, saw 89. I was like, oh crap. Made a little movement, ran around. It was pretty cool.
On that carry, it shows that Braden has been still working, and then when you turn on the gears, and no one's gonna catch him.
That kid's unbelievably fast. So, right when I gave it to him, I knew he was gonna be able to circle the edge. That's what he can do with that speed, and I'm just happy for him that he was able to turn it into a touchdown.
It's time for the TireRack.com question of the week. This week's question comes from Clint Johnson from Las Vegas, Nevada. Coach Kelly, in your opinion, what is the most difficult adjustment for high school seniors coming into the college game?
Well, I don't think it's the game itself. I think coming to college and adjusting to being on your own and time management, because you've got your academics, you're in getting up in the morning on your own, nutrition, taking care of yourself, I guess, is probably the biggest trick. You got nobody hollering at you to, eat your green beans and go to bed on time. You got to do these things yourself. So I just think the time management is probably the biggest adjustment for those kids that come to college.
Well, after beating USC 30-27, Notre Dame will enjoy a bye week, then a trip to Ann Arbor to take on the Michigan Wolverines. Michigan 5-1. Their quarterback Shea Patterson completing 58% of his passes. Turnovers have been a problem for the Wolverines so far this year. Corey, as we look ahead to the Maize and Blue, what is it going to take for the Irish to walk away with a victory?
They have to walk in there with an attitude in the big house and walk out with the deed to the house. So tonight, the same effort, that same physical running offense, you have to bring that to that game. And that same defense that's created turnovers and has rushed the passer, you got to bring that to the game too. So those are really the keys, and special teams as well. Keep doing your thing there. So, it's really simple as just keeping that momentum that you have. You hate to see it stop by a bye week, but fortunately, you do have the bye week to get healthy, to go over the basic blocking techniques and tackling and all those things, and get the younger players or inexperienced players some extra reps in practice as well.
And for Michigan, they have to go to Penn State before taking on the Fighting Irish. The Irish over the Trojans 30-27. For Corey Mays, I'm Darren Pritchett. Thanks for joining us for Inside Notre Dame Football, presented by TireRack.com.
Inside Notre Dame Football is presented by TireRack.com. And brought to you by Coca-Cola, Under Armour, Gatorade, Vivid Seats, Canon, and SiriusXM.